It's time for the Consultant's Corner here on the Jobs Pipeline radio program. And continuing with our special salute to entrepreneurs, my special guest tonight in the Consultant's Corner in the big comfy chair is John Mitton, the founder of Mitton Media. And John, you have an interesting story. Somehow you managed to go from working for the railroad to becoming a caddy on the Ladies Professional Golf Tour to starting your own ad agency. And that's got to be an interesting story.
It reeks of ADD, ADHD, David. I did work for several years as a brakeman conductor for Southern Pacific until the night at 3 a.m. The clerk lined us up down a track, told us it was empty, and I was riding the boxcars, and we hit, and I woke up 3 days later, at which point the doctor said, you really need to retire from the railroad and go back and get your degree. So I went to the University of Houston. I had my degree in behavioral psychology.
It's an interesting subject to study.
It is, especially when you had Lenny Ullman of the Ullman-Krasner books who started behavior modification. So I got to learn as much as I could from him. And then I did what any normal person would do with a degree in psychology. I went out and caddied on the Ladies Professional Golf Tour.
Now, what made you decide to go become a caddy?
You sound just like my mom. I was taking lessons. I've always loved golf, and I was taking lessons from Philip Davis. Phil said, go to Sweetwater this weekend, and I want you to pick out one of the players who's working on, what we're working on, and copy her swing. So that happened to be Patty Jordan. She got through, and I was walking away, and she said, hey, wait, come here. I'm a rookie. I really appreciated you following me. And we started to talk, and it came up, well, if you ever need a caddy, let me know. And she said, if you're serious, meet me in Boston in 2 weeks. And she said she was the most stunned person on the face of the earth when I walked up and met her in Boston. Believe it or not, you can really apply a behavioral psychology degree to caddying on the tour.
I imagine the golfers probably need a little psychological pick-me-up every now and then.
As do the CEOs who play in the Pro-Ams. So after a few years of doing that, I said, okay, you've done this, you had your fun, it's time to move on. I went and talked to the tour and said, I really would like to run one of the tournaments. And they said, the tour, tell you what, you go and get some radio and TV sales experience so you can negotiate contracts. And when we have a tournament back in Houston, you can do it. So I kept my part. I got into radio and TV sales. They, of course, moved to Daytona Beach, and we have yet to have an LPGA event in Houston.
They left you behind.
They did. So, as a new person at any radio or TV station you go to, all the senior account executives have all the big contacts.
And for those that don't understand that concept, salespeople, yeah.
So I had to go around and find some new revenues. Well, I looked around, and I realized radio was doing a great job for products and services. And at that time, job ads were being put only in the newspaper. And I started to think, well, I know in a lot of cases radio's been getting better results for the products and services, so why not try with job ads? And that's how, long story short, how I ended up being known as the founder of employee recruitment ads on radio and TV.
But you actually scored pretty big early on in that you got Sears as one of your earliest national clients.
We did. I finally decided I'm going to go start my own shop. I did. And we had early successes, and one of the big successes was Sears. All 5 divisions nationally. We went into their headquarters in Chicago, and I just showed them a different way to do it.
Well, tell us, what did you do for them that worked?
Well, we put together radio schedules and creative messages that had emotional connections. It was we showed them options they hadn't really considered before as far as their recruitment advertising, just because they weren't experienced and hadn't even thought to do radio. Up until I met them, it was, well, we've always done it this way. That sounds familiar from a bunch of people, doesn't it?
It sure
But we just showed them a different way to do it, a better way to do it, and they saw the response, the results, and that was it.
Well, let me ask you a question, because Mitton Media is known now for being the go-to company to help drive quality candidates to companies, to do it quickly, to lower costs. What are some of the things that makes Mitton Media stand out besides those?
All right. Well, number one, we put customers first. We always will be. That's where our phrase comes, we do the work, you get the credit. We're flexible. When we first started out, we just did radio and TV. But as we went along, people would say, can you do movies? Can you do billboards? And it was basically, if you need it, we can do it. We went out and taught ourselves how to do it. We're results-oriented. Our core business is providing solutions for hiring problems. We don't come from a traditional agency background, so we're not about billable hours. We come from sales. I come from the LPGA. It's all about results. It's not how, it's how many. So we are all about results.
One of the things that came up, somebody mentioned this to me the other day, the fact that Mitton Media will come in and provide options to their clients without asking them for money up front. Can you tell us how that works?
Yeah, exactly. We come in, and a lot of times the way we do things is different to some companies. And we just go in and we ask them basically 4 questions. We put together a program. We don't charge them for this. Why should we? We're there. We're listening. We're putting together new ways, new ideas for them. The only time we ever charge anybody is when they put that plan of action into motion.
So the bottom line is you've built this company by basically providing companies with solutions and not asking them to pay up front.
Right, and providing them with unique knowledge that they can't get anywhere else.
Excellent. And folks, if you want to learn more about how Mitton Media can help you with your recruitment needs, drive better quality candidates to you, and lower your cost to hire, drop us an email at info@mittonmedia.com. That's info@mittonmedia.com. And Howard Partridge up next on Jobs Pipeline.